Hey, what's good guys? MA76B-Ball. I'm back at it again with another video for you. Today we have the Adidas Crazy Explosive 2017 full performance review. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so here she is. Aesthetically it's a beautiful shoe, I think. Black, red, and a little bit of gold. Can't go wrong there. I don't know, it's just a good looking shoe. I remember when I first started to see this shoe, it started to surface on social media and whatever, the internet and stuff like that. I was like, man, that is a really good looking shoe. So, but yeah, I don't know, it looks good on foot, whether you're wearing like quarter socks or longer socks, just because of the ankle collar here. I think it just looks smooth. It's a smooth transition to your leg. So great looking shoe. But anyways, let's get into the whole performance side of things. All right, guys. So I mentioned already that on Instagram I had to cut the performance review because it's just so cold. I'm not going to really consistently play basketball for the next few weeks. So I cut the performance review at 12 hours, all right? And to break down those 12 hours, there was 2 hours outdoors. I had 4 hours on a dusty court-ish, and then another 6 hours on a pretty clean court. Not pristine, but it was pretty clean. So those are the hours there that the shoe went through. So how did it do? Well, let's just jump right into the traction as usual. The design of the outsole, I mean, the only thing that it reminds me of is like a coral reef in the ocean. I don't know if that's the exact name that they call it, but that's what I call it. I'm sure there's other people out there that consider it a coral type of a shape or design. And how did it fare? Well, first of all, outdoors. It's not meant for outdoors, but it did not do good outdoors. It was so-so. There were quite a few moments where, you know, when you put a lot of weight on a certain foot and plant and move in the opposite direction, it just went whoop, and it just slipped out from under me. I don't know, the court that I use, if you guys have been following me for a little while, and if you've seen pictures on my Instagram, where I go to play outside does have like a little bit of a red paint type of finish on the concrete. Maybe that had something to do with it, but I've never experienced this type of slipping in any of the other shoes that I have in my collection. So, but hey, so be it. It is not a knock against the shoe. It's not meant for outdoors. All right, now indoors, that's what you really want to know, mostly for the dusty court. So the dusty court, the traction was still one word that I would say more or less reliable. All right, I wasn't worried about playing on the court when it was a little bit dusty. I have wiped the outsole like whoosh, I don't know, maybe I'd probably say about every 5-6 plays, which to me that's not a lot for me on a dusty court. You know, I think that's pretty good actually. Now, when it comes to that experience in other shoes on a dusty court, the only one that I would say that it's above it is the Nike Hyperdunk 2017. That shoe, like, I pretty much didn't have to wipe on a dusty court. And so this was just like a notch down. So it's not something I don't think anyone would have to worry about. Like, it's not a deal breaker in terms of making your decision to purchase the shoe or not. I think it fared well. It fared well on the dusty court. Now, clean court. I'm not going to waste any time there. It was just on point, fantastic, loved it. Okay, so let's move on to cushioning. So as you would expect in the Crazy Explosive, the 2017 model, well, just like last year's as well, full-length cushioning from heel to toe, featuring the Boost cushioning. Now, the only thing I really want to talk about here, guys, you know, Boost, the impact protection is amazing. It feels good. It's comfortable. Whether you just stepped on the court or if you're 2.5 hours into your session, it still feels, you know, amazing. Now, the only thing I do want to compare it to is the Adidas, the D-Rose 7 Prime Knit. I had that shoe. I had a great experience in that shoe, but the only thing with that Boost was I didn't feel much going on underneath the ball of my foot in the D-Rose. Whereas this shoe, you could feel that same consistent squishy bounce, you know, type of feeling underneath the ball of the foot. So that was something that I was really, really happy about, and definitely improved my experience for this shoe. So yeah, that's about it for Boost, guys. If you haven't tried it, it is amazing. I do prefer Brand Black's Jetlon Plus over Boost. I find it just a little bit firmer and a little bit more like energy return kind of thing. But I'm not complaining about Boost. Yeah, it's definitely a good cushioning system. So let's move on to support, and more importantly, probably the number one thing that stood out for me, stability. Okay, so a couple of factors with stability and support. When you have a look at the prime knit upper, it's called a forged prime knit, so it's got a little bit more structure to it, a little bit more support to it. It's a little bit burlier than the regular prime knit that's found on the D-Rose. So that in itself, you know, provides some support. Obviously, when you lace up the shoe properly and it wraps around your foot properly, the fabric, the woven, is a little bit structured and a little bit stiffer, slightly. Nothing that would hinder movements or anything like that, but you just feel a little bit more secure. So I would have to say, you know, the prime knit, the forged prime knit, in combination with the fit, you know, that provides some support in itself. The next thing for me, in my experience with support, was the best thing ever, was this big, wide base, okay? Not the shoe, not saying it's a wide fitting shoe, the wide base of the shoe. It was just a really, like, just a nice stable platform. You could feel it in every step. You just boom. Like, it kind of like maximizes your contact with the ground, whether you're over on here or over here or over here. You just had a lot of contact with the ground, which just gave me a nice, you know, confident and secure type of feeling. So that's the second part for me for support, stability, was just the base of this shoe. Now in the heel, there wasn't anything, you know, nothing that really jumped out at me. Typically in a lot of performance reviews, you would talk about the heel counter. If it's, you know, quite stiff, it does a great job of keeping the back end of your foot on top of the footbed. There wasn't anything too dramatic. You do have the outsole here wrapping up, and then comes down here on the lateral side. So over here on the medial side, it's very prominent. But yeah, it wasn't nothing that was screaming out at me, you know. It did its job. But yeah, I think that's about it when it comes to that kind of category with stability and support. I want to go over something that I wasn't too happy about, so let's take a look at that. Okay guys, the only thing that I really have to gripe about, I mean geez, like, the traction's phenomenal, the cushioning we know is outstanding with Boost. I didn't really touch on transition. Love the transition once the shoe was broken in heel to toe, whether I was going forward or backwards. But just the one thing that was a little bit of a bummer. Now, they have a great design here. It is a knit upper, right? So you have to do something that will somewhat protect the bridge or the top of your foot here, the instep here, when you tie up the laces, or else you're gonna have these laces digging into your foot. So they've got, it's really thick and padded here. I mean, you can see how the design actually changes. A north and south type of lines here. This is all really nice padding in here. But the problem is, it stops right here. And when I laced up the shoe on my right foot, this was not an issue on my left foot. When I laced it up on my right foot, I'm not even kidding you, it just wasn't high enough. So by the time I'm skinny, I do tighten my shoes pretty tight. That top eyelet or that top lace was digging into my foot, which is unfortunate. So, you know, we obviously know, everybody knows our feet are different, you know, shapes. They're not exactly the same. I'm talking about left foot and right foot. So obviously it had something to do with my right foot and the different type of shape. Yeah, it just wasn't cutting it. I needed that padding like 1 more centimeter higher. So that's the only thing. Okay guys, so just overall with the fit, I had no issues with the fit whatsoever. Like I said, I've got a skinny foot. When the shoes were brand new, it was hard to get on. I was kind of like, oh, Jesus, like the KD9 all over again. But it broke in, and now I don't have any problems getting my foot in there after 12 hours. And it was awesome. It's just like my man over on Instagram, IA Shape. What up, dude? He's just like, don't worry, in time. It's just like grandma giving you a big hug. And that's what it's like, man. This forged prime knit, it's just like, it just hugs your foot. There are no gaps. There's no slack. It's just a beautiful fit. 2 things that went away that I mentioned in the first On Court episode was there's no room in the roof. It was like, sometimes I felt like it was pressing down on my toes. That went away. It was the material. It's just a case of breaking in and softening up. And then I also had pressure and a little bit of pain the back of my heel inside the shoe along the spine here, and that also went away, so that's no problem. So the fit is phenomenal. Regular type of width, skinny feet, I would probably say true to size. Because of that snug fit, wide footers, I would say probably a half size up. There is a possibility, I've heard some people make the comment about how the midsole actually rises up here, and that's to do with containment, and this would apply pressure to the pinky toe. Not the case for me, not whatsoever, but probably might be a case for wide footers, so watch out for that, okay? Alright guys, so kind of like in conclusion, I loved it guys, I really did. I really enjoyed playing in this shoe. It's still not quite up there with the Lightning, the rare metal Lightning from Brand Black for me. What is the difference? Why? Well, the issue always for me is I prefer traditional type shoes that are not the one-piece type of construction, where you have a wall, a tongue, and then the other wall. And I mean, I just find the adjustments and the fit, you can customize it. That really benefits my skinny feet. Also, Jetlon Plus cushioning, I love it. That's the best cushioning that I've ever used. So, but I mean, for a one-piece upper, I mean, wow, this is amazing. It's just a great shoe. Now that's kind of like my performance review in a nutshell there, guys. That's it. Now I just want to add one more thing that's not necessarily specific to this shoe. The last 2 sessions when I played in this shoe, I was like, you know what, a lot of the times with the one-piece uppers, they fit so close to the foot, it's so snug. There's not a lot of room to play around with insoles and things like that. The original insoles that are in there are always like paper thin. So the last 2 sessions, I took out the original Adidas insole and I put in my favorite all-time soft sole fit insole. These insoles are all about arch support, this particular model. Underneath there, that's not carbon, that's a nylon plate there. And I put them in here and I played for the last 2 sessions and I was just like, wow man. It really makes a massive difference, I think, like biomechanically, when you have proper support for your feet. So make sure that you guys kind of, it's not for everyone, but you definitely want to check it out, whether it's Soft Sole or another company. Check it out. There are several different types of insoles out there. You have something like this that is the best one in terms of supporting your arch, which that carries all the way up your body. It takes care of ankles, it helps with the knees, hip alignment, lower back, etc., etc. So anyways, my whole point is, it was fantastic playing in these shoes and the last few shoes that I've tested. But when you put these in, it's just a world of difference. So check them out, guys. Check them out, especially for anyone out there who's getting up in age like myself. Okay, guys, that's it for the review. Thank you so much. So shout out to IA Shape, Friends of the Forest gang. What up, guys? Hey, thanks for dropping by, guys. Really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, and hey, just check out some of the videos that I have. If you genuinely like my videos, I'd be awesome if you hit the subscribe button. That'd be awesome, and a like button. And if you have any other questions about this shoe or some of the other shoes in my collection, just leave it in the comment section and I will get to it, alright? Alright everybody, you take care and I appreciate you. Peace.